Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Rick. Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Hope you guys are having a good day, and man, we have a lot of stuff to talk about within today's video. Call of Duty just released all over Twitter that they are making some major changes to the anti-cheat within their game, so maybe, just maybe, we will see the end of the cheating problem in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Probably not, but I felt like it was a good idea to watch this video from the exclusive ace called Call of Duty is finally taking a big step toward a better anti-cheat because he has all the information. He's very informed on this entire situation, so I wanted to see what he had to say and give you guys my input as well. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below. Are all these changes going to save this game, or is it just gonna be more bullshit that we've heard before? Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to exclusive ace and like his original video. It's all in the description below, but other than that, let's get into the video.
What's up, guys? My name is Ace, and it looks like Call of Duty is finally taking a fairly big leap forward when it comes to their anti-cheat efforts.
We've heard that before,
today that
but okay.
Starting with Season 5 tomorrow, they will be implementing Secure Boot. And for those that aren't familiar, they did describe here, this is an industry-standard, hardware-based security feature built into CPUs or motherboards that will verify the PC's boot performance has not been tampered with when you boot your PC up. This might sound familiar for people that have been keeping up with Battlefield news, because Battlefield 6 is also using Secure Boot.
Wow. It's kind of weird that ever since Battlefield 6 had a very successful multiplayer reveal the other day, now all of a sudden Call of Duty wants to do what Battlefield's doing. Maybe, just maybe, they follow the skill-based matchmaking algorithm that Battlefield has, or maybe they get rid of all these skins in Black Ops 7. I don't know, but let's proceed.
Required to play the game on PC. And it looks like
maybe
Call of Duty is either following suit, or perhaps this was already well underway before this was ever announced for Battlefield.
No,
either way, this is also coming for Call of Duty. One thing to keep in mind is starting tomorrow with Season 5, Secure Boot will be available, but not necessary. They will give you a notification if you don't have Secure Boot on. And this is designed to give everybody time to activate Secure Boot, because this is something you have to go in and do by yourself. But it looks like they're aiming to have this fully active by the time Black Ops 7 launches, and that means you will have to have it active.
So for Black Ops 6, they're giving you the option for another few months until Black Ops 7 is released. And then when Black Ops 7, you are required. Why don't they just make it a requirement tomorrow? I don't understand. It didn't take me long to figure it out. Maybe it takes other people longer. I don't know, but what's the point of doing this tomorrow if it's not even necessarily required? These people over there are fucking stupid.
In order to even play the game. And this form of anti-cheat should have a very notable impact on the cheating situation. To be clear, it's definitely not going to be getting rid of all forms of cheating or anything, but it looks like it's at least going to make it that much more difficult for cheaters to slip through the cracks.
Okay,
so
that's
good
good
news there.
That's good.
However, it is worth noting there are some downsides that come with this, and we've seen this with the implementation of Secure Boot into Battlefield 6, with a lot of people trying to get that set up and ready for the beta, which is also starting tomorrow, because you need that active to get into the beta. And I've seen multiple reports of people's entire PCs getting bricked while trying to activate this. I don't know if that was a user error thing or just a hardware issue of some sort, but there's definitely at least some cause for concern there. Also, just the sheer fact that...
I mean, I think that can be very annoying, but at the end of the day, if this can help solve the cheating problem, even like 5 or 10%, I'm down. So
a lot of people that are computer illiterate, this is a fairly advanced thing for them to be able to handle. So they'll likely have to do a little bit of research and watch some tutorials, for instance, in order to figure that out.
It took me like 5-10 minutes. It's not that big of a deal.
Motherboard or CPU to CPU. So I think this is going to cause a lot of annoyance for people, but at the end of the day, it should have a notable impact on cheating. Now, they did also clarify that this is just a new thing that they're adding on top of all of the anti-cheat measures that they already have. So it's not replacing their anti-cheat or anything. It's just working alongside all of the...
The anti-cheat is dog shit. It's not doing anything. So that point was pointless.
The anti-cheat that was already present. Next up, they're making another improvement here, at least for the ranked play side of things. With Season 5, they're making it so Game Pass free trials on PC will be unable to access ranked play. And this may also cut down at least a little bit on the cheating situation there as well.
I like that. So basically, if you have that free trial on Game Pass, or if you get an account banned and you make a brand new email or whatever to get another Game Pass account free trial going, which is what a lot of these people do with their hacking accounts that get banned, having that being able to not let them in ranked play is awesome. But then now all those cheaters are just going to go and basically just ruin public matches. So there'll still be cheating, but at least they can't play in ranked play, which is pretty cool.
Because it is a common tactic for cheaters to use a free trial, so they don't have to put any money up front. in order to get into the game and cheat. And then when they get banned from the game, it's really no monetary loss for them because it was totally free. They didn't even have to pay for like a single month of Game Pass.
Yeah, that's a good plus.
At least those players won't be able to access ranked play. They will still be able to access campaign, zombies, and regular multiplayer, though.
Yeah.
Additionally, they provided an update on detections, targeting, boosting, and teaming. And this goes alongside the massive ban wave that happened a couple weeks back,
Boosting
I think it was, where tons of people got permanently banned for going AFK or for boosting in some way. And I want to read at least part of this here. They mentioned boosting services often flood lobbies with low effort accounts used to illegitimately farm XP and complete challenges. And
we've seen that a lot. We even have content creators out there on YouTube that are Call of Duty content creators that promote these websites where you basically can buy bot lobbies. The fact that they're even promoting it and they're even sponsored by other companies like Control Freak, G Fuel, stuff like that is pretty fucking pathetic. I don't know how those lobbies work and how they can do that, but to see that they're cracking down on that is cool. But it was a little weird that if you were AFK boosting or whatever, something that's very harmless, it was kind of weird that they were permanently banning you, but those people that are rage hacking with walls, aimbot, all that stuff, they were still allowed to play the game. So I understand why some people are pissed off, but again, it's cool to see that they're targeting some of this stuff that's going on, especially if this stuff is happening on rank play, because there's a lot of people that boost and team in rank play, and that's just annoying as hell.
And then these accounts are later sold as ranked play ready, since you have to play a certain number of ranked play matches and reach a certain level, I believe. And that's designed as an anti-cheat effort for ranked play. So this is one method that players were using to bypass.
I don't know anybody that plays ranked play though, so this is actually kind of still pointless.
Play and achieve those levels to access ranked play, and then they sell those accounts. Now they also mentioned additionally methods like continuously idling to farm XP without playing the game, and using tactics to bypass idle detections. So that'd be things like setting up a macro, or as simple as like putting a rubber band on your controller, for instance, so you don't get kicked for being AFK. That can create a negative experience for entire lobbies, especially for players that are matched on the same team as the account that is boosting. They clarified that this is mentioned in the terms of use, and any form of boosting is against policy. However, they will be making adjustments to better reflect the details listed in the terms of use, because a lot of people were pointing to the fact that boosting specifically mentioned working with other players and colluding with other players to boost, whereas AFK farming, you're not really working with other players, you're doing that on your own. So they are updating their policy to better reflect that. And then they talked about the recent permanent bans. They said, recently, we permanently banned accounts where boosting made up the majority of their recent in-game activity. These were not random one-off cases, but extreme and repeated patterns of abuse. We focus our enforcement on deliberate cheating.
I don't know if anybody even cares about permanently banning people that were AFK boosting. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I think more of us rather just want these people that are cheating, like fucking cheating with aimbot, to get permanently banned. I think that's all we want, ladies and gentlemen. How about we find a system that can detect that instead of detecting someone that's AFK?
Behavior, and boosting is no exception. It undermines fair competition, and like all cheating, it won't be ignored. So they're standing their ground on this. They're taking a very hardline approach on this. I do like the fact that they clarified here that this wasn't happening for people that just did this like once or twice. It wasn't one-off thing, or somebody maybe just accidentally left their account AFK.
Still, again, most people don't give a fuck.
What they stated here, this is for people that were doing this for the majority of their recent playtime. So that does make the permanent bans at least a little bit more understandable, especially combined with the fact that this was meant to be targeting people that were using these methods to create cheatable accounts that they could then sell. So I do understand a bit more where they're coming from with this. I still do think an instant permanent ban for a lot of those accounts is a bit on the harsh side.
Yes.
Especially with their terms of service not being abundantly clear.
And nobody
at the time,
fucking cares about boosting.
Now.
Nobody fucking cares. We care more about the other stuff. Then once you fix the other stuff, once you fix the actual cheaters, then we can go on and work about AFK. The fact that they're fucking focused about AFK boosting people instead of the people that are actually ruining the game is so weird to me.
And if they continue with that, then a permanent ban is totally fair. At the end of the day, it's their policy. They decide how they want to enforce it, and they are taking a very hardline approach here. Now, after that, they just discussed that they are continuing to disrupt cheating networks. They're targeting cheat providers using any legal means necessary. A lot of them are shutting down or have shut down in the past because of this. Of course, when that happens, usually new ones pop up, oftentimes from the same people. They just sort of bypass that by creating a new company that creates cheating software. And they just mentioned that they are continuing their efforts with this constantly alongside their anti-cheat efforts. So they're targeting the supply.
Can
and
somebody
the
make
demand
a
when it comes
U.S.
to this.
government
Now,
law
finally,
that
in
if
this
you
blog,
cheat
they
or
just
make
answered
cheats,
a few
you fucking
community
go to jail,
questions here,
please?
and I think it's important to go through this since a lot of people do have these questions. I had some of these questions as well. The first thing is, when Black Ops 7 is released, will Warzone adopt the TPM 2.0 and secure boot requirements? And essentially their answer is they're working on it and they're going to see how things play out throughout Season 5, but they're not setting a hard date on that for sure. It looks like they're trying to get things all organized and set up for the launch of Black Ops 7, but they're not officially announcing that you absolutely need it to start playing Black Ops 7 when it first launches.
This is so weird. Like I said, that they're doing all of this stuff while Battlefield 6 is about to take off with their beta. It's so fucking weird that now all of a sudden they want to act like they really want to get this game together. You know, they had a tweet out yesterday that I saw that Call of Duty is too big to fail, that they're not worried about Battlefield 6. Yet now they're making these changes. Yet now I guarantee we're going to see some more changes to maybe some other stuff for Black Ops 7. Because I know everybody out here watching, everybody that's watching this video today, no one's really hyped for Season 5 of Black Ops 6 right now. Nobody's even hyped for Black Ops 7 right now. Everybody is talking about Battlefield 6 for good reason. Because this company, this franchise has lost its identity and nobody gives a fuck.
Launches. Then a big question regarding privacy when it comes to Secure Boot, since it does access your PC on a fairly deep level here.
Who cares?
Does Secure Boot give Call of Duty access to data like my login credentials or private files? And they clarified this process does not access your personal files or information, only Windows diagnostic data.
And here's the point. Here's the thing. If you are so worried about them being able to look a little further in your PC, you're sus as fuck already for saying that. Who gives a shit? Let them do what they gotta do. If it solves the cheating problem, if it makes it actually a good, fun game to play, so fucking be it.
These are strictly features built into Windows. They run before the operating system loads, checking that your system hasn't been tampered with. When you launch Call of Duty, Windows tells us whether your system passed these checks. If your system fails, you won't be able to play until Windows confirms everything is secure. This is strictly about system integrity and protecting the game environment from cheats or tampering. Next, as I mentioned earlier, they just reaffirmed that these new anti-cheat methods are not replacing existing anti-cheat methods. They're working in collaboration with the existing anti-cheat. And then finally, I would say the most important question here is, will these new anti-cheat methods end cheating? And they were clear to mention here, no, it's not going to stop cheating in all forms. It will help them combat cheating, and it will raise the barrier of entry for many forms of cheating. But at the end of the day, this is an arms race. There's always going to be a cat and mouse game. No matter what you do to improve your anti-cheat, as long as there is a huge monetary incentive, which there is for Call of Duty, cheaters will essentially always find some way to bypass that because there's a whole lot of money to be made.
So weird.
So this is once again...
That's what you do with your free time of your life, is to cheat in a fucking video game. That is just beyond weird.
And just a constant effort. And from the sounds of it, this one is going to be a pretty big step forward, at least once we get to the point where it's required. Because with Season 5, like I said, it's not going to be required to activate Secure Boot, so we shouldn't be seeing any really immediate
I guarantee it won't be ready by Black Ops 7.
But once it's required to play on
it
PC,
won't be ready.
Then I think that should be cutting down on cheating at least to a...
I guarantee this is probably all talk right now, okay? It's probably all talk just to make it sound like they're trying to make some changes because Battlefield 6 is blowing up. And then by the time Black Ops 7 is out there, they're going to be like, nah, you don't need it. It's not required. But if you want to, you can. Fuck it.
Noticeable degree. And there we go. That's pretty much it. That is going to wrap it up for this big anti-cheat update for Call of Duty.
Crazy.
Overall, just like I say with every one of these anti-cheats blogs, all of this sounds great on paper. I'm glad to see they're continuing to work to improve anti-cheat. At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, and we'll just have to wait to see how effective
100%.
this really is at stopping cheating. Of course, I'm not expecting this to finally stop cheating once and for all in Call of Duty, but I do think it could have a notable impact, and I hope it does.
I do too, man. That's a great video from Exclusive Ace with a lot of information, a lot of good points, and obviously we're seeing some just weird timing when it comes to all of this stuff, man. But you know, at the end of the day, if this actually does become a required thing, hopefully soon, not by Black Ops 7, but soon for Black Ops 6, that way we can actually play some real games with actual real gaming integrity instead of fake ass people. It would be a lot better, but who knows? We don't know anything. And again, like he said, and like even Activision themselves said, it's not going to fix cheating. I don't think anything's going to be able to fix cheating unless they really invest a lot of money on some big changes. But we all know Call of Duty is not going to do that. they're gonna invest in the store and stuff like that. But who knows? Maybe Battlefield 6 and the beta, with how successful this shit's gonna be, maybe it'll change some minds over there at Activision. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys think. If you think this is gonna even change anything at all, if you think it's gonna help a little bit or help a lot, let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe, shout out exclusive base again. Great ass video. Other than that, I'm out this bitch. You guys have a great fucking day. Let's play some Battlefield 6. Peace.